So, the githyanki have no cure for our condition. Unless you count death as a cure. I won't pretend to be surprised.
Not the resounding success we were hoping for. Still, the price of ambition is occasionally catastrophic failure. At least our skulls remain intact.
I'm not surprised that the Gith's insane device didn't remove our tadpoles. I'm just disappointed.
The menacing githyanki machine and its jagged pincers held no cure at all. Who could have thought?
Another dead end. If the tadpole doesn't kill us, trying to cure it just might.
And with that, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. My name is Pete, and today we complete what I consider to be one of the more important parts of the story in Act 1, as we're looking to meet the githyanki Inquisitor. Last time we left off, after entering the crash looking for a cure for the Mind Flayer tadpole, we learned that the aforementioned Inquisitor is also present, searching for the mysterious artifact we carry, and we met Gustil Stornagus, the crash's healer, and attempted the removal of the Mind Flayer parasite with her. Now, our companions just commented on the results of that procedure, so we sought out the hatchery and obtained a githyanki egg, saved the youth Varl from certain death, and entered the office of Kithrak Therizin, who leads this githyanki crash. You may also notice that we've had Karlach join the party, and that Lae'zel looks a little different. She's wearing Astarion's +2 hide armor for the bonus to initiative, as well as the Bow of Awareness, which together give her a +4 to initiative, and that's going to be crucial later on in the video. For now, however, our main objective is to get through this barrier here, and to do so we need to acquire a red shard currently in the possession of Kithrak Therizin. She won't give it to us willingly unless we hand her the artifact, and we also don't want to attack the githyanki who have led us into their home, so let's pickpocket it from her with Astarion. However, we want to do so in turn-based mode, otherwise she might notice it missing and accuse us of theft before we can deactivate the barrier. This way, we can safely transfer it to Sylvia and place it into the device.
Oh, it is you.
Istark! I will not have you sneaking through my crash!
Quiet, Therizin. I wish to speak with this one.
As you wish, Ch'r'ai.
Make haste. We have business to conduct.
Alright, and just like that, the path opens up and we avoid a confrontation. Going through, we can loot a few objects of interest, beginning with a decorated barrel on the right and a dragon egg mushroom to the left of the door.
This place is even more foreboding than the rest of the crash.
You said it.
I hope, no, expect that Ch'r'ai will aid us.
It's never been that simple before. I don't know why it would be now.
And I feel myself agreeing with Sylvia here, that Inquisitor did not appear like a charming fellow just willing to help out. We'll find out soon enough. For now, let's grab a few more valuables. A chest can be found at the westernmost edge of the area here, as well as a Viridian crystal close by. With that, we have taken everything we can for the moment though, so let's follow the bridge here to reach a large set of iron doors behind which the Inquisitor waits.
Our esteemed guest. Please approach. We have much to discuss.
The doors are already shut behind us, not a great sign, but let's not act hastily here. For now, we're just here to talk.
You have something I want. I have the knowledge you need. Vlaakith's power is endless. Her patience is not. Approach. I won't ask again.
Now, despite his warnings, we can take as much time as we please, so let's speak to the other githyanki in the room first.
The Kithrak let you through? Go ahead then. Istig.
Your presence here is tolerated. Do not confuse it for being welcome.
The Ch'r'ai is expecting you.
An invitation to speak with the Ch'r'ai? You are honored.
Alright, and I suppose we don't want to leave the Inquisitor waiting for too much longer. Let's find out what he has to say.
My Arden spoke of one of our kin that escaped a crashing Geik slave vessel.
Ch'r'ai. Vlaakith's justice in flesh.
You have accomplished much, child. I am pleased to finally meet you. I heard there is so much goblin blood on your hands that it soaks their children's nightmares. To business. I suspect you plucked something precious from the Geik ship. Something that belongs to us. The weapon. Give it to me.
Don't do it. The weapon is how I protect you.
Do it. Do not disobey the Inquisitor.
Right, of course the Inquisitor is interested in what we bring with us, but he seems to know an awful lot about our endeavors so far, so let's do some inquiring of our own and find out why, to gain some approval from Karlach and Astarion.
Some of your species say knowledge is power. They are wrong. Knowledge is everything. We took an interest in you when you became involved with this absolute cult. A pestilence of infected slaves, the first symptom of the Grand Design in action. But you are lucky. That weapon you carry is the solution. I have heard it from Queen Vlaakith herself. Hand it over.
So, his tone one of condescending command, and yet it shines through that he doesn't seem to know much about the artifact himself, so how about we propose a fair exchange instead of just handing it over?
The Geik are about to execute their grand design and you seek to bargain. Pahakva. The weapon. Now.
And yes indeed, while we don't want to outright attack him, showing him that hostility is not something we respond well to might remind him who he's dealing with, not to mention that he's not exactly in a position to make demands.
Is that so? Well then, humor me. What would you ask of an Inquisitor?
And while Astarion would certainly enjoy it, we are not going to bargain for gold, but an alliance with the githyanki to stand united against the Mind Flayer threat, that sounds more reasonable.
If you desire to see the might of my people, you will not be disappointed. Our swords are ready to cleave Geik flesh in their legions, with or without your interference. Give me the weapon. Now.
Don't give it to him.
Right, it appears he's only after one thing and won't let up, but I don't think he has us convinced that parting ways with the artifact is a good idea, so how about no?
Do not try me. Hand over the artifact or die by my hand.
Right, this is now the big decision in this conversation. Not handing over the artifact, with or without Lae'zel on our side, would most likely result in more drastic measures being taken, and I believe that story-wise, the best flow for this entire interaction here is achieved by actually giving the artifact to him, at least for the moment.
No.
So it is found.
Vlaakith W'wargaz.
My queen. Ch'r'ai.
You are permitted to look upon me. You are invited to kneel.
The Deathless Queen has spoken. You will obey.
Right, looks like Vlaakith herself has shown up, equally commanding in her nature as the Inquisitor, but she is no queen of ours, so perhaps let us remind her of that.
Who am I? I am Vlaakith, undying queen of the noble githyanki, God Regent of the Six Arms of Tu'narath. Your choice of allies is most vexing. They do not become you, Lae'zel.
Ch'r'ai W'wargaz. You know me.
Erlon of Kalir speaks most highly, as did Achaya before her. You seek purity. I may yet grant it. Istik, you bear that which is ours. But are you friend, or are you thief?
Well, truth be told, I'm not sure, probably neither, an answer that goes well with reminding her who's currently in possession of the artifacts.
No! It is not yours! To own something is to know it. That weapon you carry, the Astral Prism, it is corrupted.
I will cleanse it for you, my queen. Tell me how.
There is someone inside. Their mind is warped, broken, a blight. They are an agent of the Grand Design, sent to sabotage the Astral Prism. Our last defense against the return of the Illithid Empire. As long as they live, the prison is compromised. Kill them! Do this, and I will cleanse you and your allies. Do this, and ascend!
Ascension. My queen. An honor gained. A burden borne. You must accept. Refuse, and you will know my fury.
Now, at this point, it seems like we have little more to hide from the githyanki, but how will Vlaakith respond if we tell her that the artifact keeps us safe from the Absolutes?
You are being lied to. I will be obeyed!
Skva! Do not defy my queen!
Right, not exactly much of an argument brought forth here, but since we are dealing with a goddess, it might be best not to antagonize her any further. What we say and what we do are two different questions after all.
Use the Planecaster's power to enter the artifact. Be wary of the creature's lying tongue. Cut it out if you must. W'wargaz, they are not to leave until it is done.
As you say, my queen.
Ch'r'ai W'wargaz. We will not waste a second. Vlaakith has spoken. Do not leave this room except to enter the prism. Turn your back on me, and you will feel my blade against it.
And there we are, having met the githyanki god Queen Vlaakith and with more information about our artifacts. Seems like it is an astral prism with someone inside that Vlaakith wishes us to remove. This desire goes directly against those of the Dream Guardian, who is most likely the person inside the prism. The only way to find out is to use the Planecaster here and see for ourselves. Now, before we do this, let's have Astarion sneak off behind the Inquisitor here and steal this ring from the chest, the strange conduit ring, which gives its wearer a 1d4 damage bonus as long as they are concentrating on a spell. That could prove useful on Sylvia, who now hands Crusher's ring off to Lae'zel for the extra movement speed, and then we head into the unknown against the Dream Guardian's advice.
Don't do it.
Heat pulses out of the Astral Prism as it begins to flower. Your mind burns hot with excitement. A timeless space, bounded, compressed in a fold. A pocket of astral plane.
Boundless. Timeless. Like every dream that ever was stitched together. It is home.
So here we are in the astral plane, home of the githyanki, or at least in a small pocket of it. The intelligence save we just failed, by the way, did not cause us to miss out on anything. A successful perception check still revealed the location to be the astral plane. Lae'zel would have done the same, and the game also makes it abundantly clear. In the astral plane, gravity also works differently. Jump distance is tripled and fall damage does not exist, so we can do stuff like this. Jump across a massive gap towards a strange pulsating cave entrance. Let's pick up some weave moss and then investigate it further.
So you came, in spite of all my warnings. Disappointing. Come, we will talk in private. Just the two of us.
Right, sounds to me like we found our dream visitor's hideout, and I think Sylvia would much prefer to bring her entire group with her, after Vlaakith told us that he was working for the Illithids.
Suit yourself. But only the leader of your group is coming in. I will not allow anyone else.
Oh, don't look at me. That is all yours.
Well, in that case, it seems like we have no other option but to venture forth on our own.
I may have made a mistake trusting you. I told you to stay away from the githyanki. But you just couldn't help yourself. Could you? And now, you've come here to murder me.
Well, let's not be hasty. There is an important question to ask, though. Is this guy really an agent of the Illithid Grand Design?
I told you I stole the artifact from someone. Well, I stole it from Vlaakith. Since then, she has become desperate. Vlaakith wants me dead because I know her secret. It is a secret so great that if her people ever found out, that would be the end of her rule. The end of her. That same secret is how I've been protecting you from the Absolute. I can hear your thoughts. You think I'm lying. Vlaakith warned you that I would try to deceive you, but consider this. What reason have I to deceive you? I want the same thing as you. Freedom. I'm on your side. I have been since the very beginning.
Okay, so apparently, to prove his loyalty, he offers us the sword. After all he's been through to help us out and to protect us, that does seem a little strange, doesn't it?
I already told you I protect you. That I saved you. That I'm just like you. If this was not enough to convince you, what more is there to say?
Now, decision time, and truth be told, as shifty as this guy may appear at times, Vlaakith and her Inquisitors seem even less trustworthy at this point, not to mention that he did protect us from the Absolute up until now, so I think we'll let him live. If Vlaakith is so powerful, she can go and kill him herself.
It seems I was right to put my faith in you after all. Thank you. Vlaakith will be furious. To make no mention of your githyanki companion, the Lich Queen fears nothing more than the loss of her empire. The knowledge I have of her deception will bring that about.
Crucial little detail here, he just called Vlaakith a Lich Queen, but for all we know, she is a goddess. So what is it, and may this be the secret to bring her down?
Godlike in power, yes. but with none of the sanctity. Vlaakith is lying to her people. She pretends to know how Gith destroyed the Mind Flayer Empire. In truth, she knows nothing. If the Illithid Empire were ever to return, she would be incapable of stopping them. And if her people found out about her impotence, there would be mutiny, revolution, the end of her rule. But that very power, the power to resist Illithid control, which Vlaakith only pretends to know, is how I've been protecting you. I suppose she hoped to extract it from my corpse. Since you spared me that fate, she will come for you.
And well, this now leads to a rather obvious question, I think. What exactly is this power that Vlaakith pretends to know and that has protected us from the Absolute?
A logical question. But you're not ready for the answer. I have delayed long enough. The next attack is overdue and I can't risk you being caught in the middle of it. I need you out there, searching for the Absolute. You are on the right path, to Moonrise Towers. Return to it. Be warned, the Inquisitor awaits your return from this place with orders to kill you. No doubt the rest of the Kresh will join him. Good luck.
Speak. Have you killed my queen's enemy?
Right. If what our Dream Visitor said is true, Lae'zel might be in for a rude awakening. And at this stage, one might be inclined to believe him over Vlaakith, especially with the whole Orpheus story in mind as well.
Vlaakith does not lie to her faithful. Open your mind. Show me.
Your mind tingles. Lae'zel seeks entrance.
Lae'zel now wishes to see and hear what we just experienced, and there is no reason not to let her in and share those memories.
Your thoughts become one. She sees the truth of your confrontation in an instant.
Vlaakith Tafkinazin. I see only madness.
Vlaakith bears the full might of Tunarath's arms and the covenant of the Great Mother Gith. We must go to the Ch'r'ai. He will summon Vlaakith. She must know of this apostate.
So, Lae'zel remains steadfast in her belief, and we still don't really have any answers as to what exactly it is that keeps us safe from the Absolute's influence, but what we have been told is to expect a fight upon our return, and to prepare us for that, the Dream Visitor has actually blessed the entire party, one reason why Shadowheart is not with us here today. Now, there is actually a little bit to explore here inside the Astral Prism, as small as the area may be. Among other things, it is one of the best sources of weave moss in the entire game, and it also features several dead githyanki, this one here carrying a powerful healing potion. Right next to the portal that can bring us back to the Kresh, we then also find a divine bone shard, and gazing out into the distance, this does make sense. What's flying around in the astral sea around us does very much look like the skeletal remains of a gargantuan being, perhaps itself once a god, maybe even the githyanki Mother Gith herself. Unfortunately, there is no way for us to get any closer, at least not yet. So let's keep looking around. A scroll of seeming can be found on another dead body here, followed by a chasm creeper and another bone shard, and if we jump the gap here, we can also loot a chest full of gold on a small floating island. Heading back towards the portal, we find more weave moss, another island we could jump to but won't because it doesn't have anything of interest, unlike the third and final githyanki body over here, carrying an inscribed slate depicting a dragon soaring over two individuals who are riding a comet, another reference to Orpheus, and thus lending more and more credibility to the other side of his tale, the one that Vlaakith and her followers may want to keep secret. However, regardless of which story turns out to be true, for the moment we have to assume that Vlaakith has ordered us killed upon our return, so let's prepare accordingly. Bless is active already. Let's also summon a mage hand with Sylvia, take a short rest to replenish her bardic inspirations, and then enter turn-based mode. What we want to do now is move Karlach here away from the party and have her go invisible. Yes, she can do that, thanks to a ring we found back at the Durga encampment. With Sylvia, we then want to cast the concentration spell Fairy Fire on the rest of the party. Yes, this is technically a debuff, but we're trying not to get hit anyway, and this ensures we have concentration active for that 1d4 damage bonus from the ring we just acquired. Crucially, we need to keep Karlach out of the radius. As you can see with Shovel, Fairy Fire breaks invisibility. Then we use our bonus actions to dip everyone's weapons in fire for another small damage bonus. It's rare that the game gives you a warning about a fight being imminent, so we might as well prepare to the best of our abilities. Once again, Karlach is skipped. Using her bonus action would break invisibility. Finally then, we drop a speed potion, have the entire party huddle up and throw it to give everyone the haste condition, and with that we are as prepared as we need to be to return to the Githyanki creche. Now we return still in turn-based mode, and this can be used to attack on our terms, potentially even with surprise. However, even if we have given the Githyanki a lot of leeway, let's give them the benefit of the doubt one more time. Maybe our dream visitor was lying to us and we are not about to be attacked at all. But if a fight has to break out, let us force the Githyanki to be the aggressors. Let's end turn-based mode and see what happens.
Lae'zel, I've been waiting. You are named Hashalak. Bend your head, for my blade is ready.
Ch'r'ai, please, summon Vlaakith. There's much...
Irrelevant, Geik wretch. The Queen has spoken. Your death is decreed.
You realize what Lae'zel doesn't? Whatever the outcome of your visit to the Astral Prism, Vlaakith had no intention of letting either of you live.
Crush Yillik, with me, to the death.
Alright, and there we go. Haste and concentration are still up, they do not vanish during the conversation, and crucially, Karlach is still hidden and thus can act on her own initiative, otherwise she likely would have ended up at the back of the order. Now then, our main target here is of course Ch'r'ai W'wargaz, a formidable enemy with high stats and a legendary resistance to saving throws that he can use up to 3 times per turn. He can also parry 1 attack per turn to reduce its damage, and has a legendary action that lets him summon a psionic sword immediately after someone in his group takes damage, and he can do it twice. Other than that, he is immune to being surprised, incredibly powerful with his sword, and has the psionic revenge feature that I found does not quite work as advertised. More on that later. For now, let's kick things off with Astarion here, who as always goes first and can strike, but we're going to turn dual wielding off for it. I only want him to use his main hand. Right, so he did strike twice after all, but considering the crits I'll take it, still this was not the intention. Either way, the Ch'r'ai now summons the first psionic sword directly next to Astarion, which is why we used him to strike first. You definitely do not want this happening next to your ranged attackers, as they would gain the threatened condition and receive disadvantage on all further attacks. These swords are also not entirely trivial to dispose of. They're easy to hit, but with 30 hit points and plenty of resistances, it takes a while to whittle them down. Now, since W'wargaz used his parry reaction, Sylvia can now move to the high ground here without the risk of an opportunity attack, but attacking first is Lae'zel. Thanks to her gear, she was placed early in the initiative and can now strike with a trip attack, made with advantage because of the summoned sword, as there are now 2 enemies in close proximity and this triggers her underdog's bravery. And here you see it, despite W'wargaz making the save, Lae'zel does not take damage. Instead, she deals another crit and forces the second sword to be summoned. This means Sylvia can now attack without fear of retaliation. We want to go for a simple bonus action shot first though, and also trigger Luck of the Far Realms to guarantee another critical hit. This doubles all damage modifiers, and Sylvia currently has a lot of those active, and it also triggers the ability drain condition, reducing W'wargaz's dexterity by 1 point, and thus also reducing his armor class from 17 to 16. This makes him a little easier to hit, but we probably only need one more shot, so let's aim the second bolt from our slashing flourish at the warrior here, arguably the second toughest enemy in the group.
I'm glad you came to your senses. Now leave, before the others come for us.
Right, and there we are. The Inquisitor is down, now we only need to deal with his entourage. 4 more githyanki, and because the warrior just parried Sylvia's attack, they are all pretty much still at full health. Now, this is where Carla comes into play, still officially not in combat. Let's move her up to join Sylvia here, and then throw the returning pike at that aforementioned soldier. Great, that's 26 damage, but also all we'll get out of her in this fight, I'm afraid. At this point, she is dead last in the initiative, and we want to eliminate all enemies before they can strike. So, next move, Astarion can use his Dread Ambusher attack to strike the Ardent here, and with his second action, let's follow it up with another strike. However, since this is not a surprise round, Astarion's damage potential does not quite unfold as usual. Lae'zel, however, is a different beast. First of all, she gets a bonus action attack because of the crit earlier, unfortunately though that misses. But we go again, and I don't think we need to even spend any superiority dice here. 2 hits are hopefully all it takes, and that's exactly how many she has left. We could technically action surge now to give her more, but there is no need, I hope. It actually all depends on Shovel here, who can now strike the Ardent. And there we go. Shovel deals 7 points of damage and gets the kill. This is crucial, because it means that Sylvia probably only needs to spend 1 more slashing flourish. Right, we probably didn't even need that. We could have handled a few less fortunate rolls too, however. Again, Sylvia could have used a 3rd slashing flourish, and Lae'zel could have action surged with Battlemaster maneuvers, but I'll take it. This saves up our combat resources.
Vlaakith! Vlaakith! I have wielded your fury as a blade, roared your wrath as a dragon. You promised ascension. Yet I crawl among my own people, low as an asp's belly. Shkageth! I followed your path. What good? This heart of stone, for it to be shattered. She tests me. A trial of faith. Kalir prepared me. Only the heaviest souls soar to the astral. Yes. Yes. I might gain Vlaakith's favor yet.
And despite everything that happens, Lae'zel still clings on to her belief. I guess it's difficult to see your worldview start to crack right in front of you, but it might be time for her to see the truth.
Silence! I must think.
Right, here we are, and chances are more fights await us on the way back out, so we might as well take our time to strip the area clean before we venture forth. Inside the gilded chest here we find the Gloves of Belligerent Skies that interact nicely with the reverberation mechanic. Radiant damage, for example, is easily dealt with Spirit Guardians. On the table then, plenty of githyanki intelligence, beginning with a slate that repeatedly has 1 word in common tongue, Sylvia's name, so it seems the githyanki have been keeping a close eye on us. A second slate confirms Moonrise Towers to be the center of cultist activity, nothing we don't already know. Then we have a map with possible locations of the artifact, mostly correct, and Moonrise Towers will be too if our journey continues. Meanwhile, the most interesting note perhaps is the one on Kithrak Voss, who we met at the mountain pass, and who seems to have been branded a traitor. On the other side of the entrance doors then, the second fallen githyanki can be looted, and behind him a confiscated book lies on the desk. No surprise to see that it once again contains a story about Orpheus, a tale that githyanki leadership seems awfully afraid of. The main reward then is of course found on the Inquisitor, who we will speak to momentarily. He carries a potion that effectively replaces a long rest, very handy. His Circlet of Psionic Revenge is more defensive in nature, dealing 1d4 damage to an enemy if the wearer succeeds a saving throw against them. Pretty situational if you ask me, probably not something for the main rotation. A second piece of headgear then on the Ardent here. This diadem grants arcane synergy, allowing the wearer to add their spellcasting modifier to weapon damage, and all that is needed to trigger it is to inflict a condition, and that term is defined very broadly. In the room to the east here then, plenty of good stuff. Next to some valuables in the chest, the Necklace of Elemental Augmentation can be found, boosting the damage of cantrips that deal elemental damage, definitely something worth keeping. A few elixirs then in the next chest here, some alchemy ingredients in this one, and leaning on the shelf, the Skin Burster, a halberd that grants its wielder the Force Conduit condition when it deals damage, 1 point of damage reduction to physical damage per turn of the condition, stackable and therefore potentially a nice damage protection mechanic. Finally then, some trinkets and arrows in the last chest, and with that let's return to the Inquisitor. Since we killed him, he won't speak to us unless we disguise ourselves. Let's have Astarion assume the form of a githyanki female, and then use one of our many scrolls of Speak with Dead.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Now, we already know who he is, why he's here, and how he died, so let's cut right to the chase and ask about the artifacts.
A secret used by Gith to free us of Gake shackles.
Right, and does he by any chance know what that secret might be?
The corpse remains silent. It does not know.
Seems Vlaakith is keeping things close to her chest, possibly with good reason for all we know. Let's move on to ask about the next steps for the githyanki.
This world is sick. Only cure. Annihilation.
A grim outlook, but somewhat understandable considering his position. Finally, since he was an Inquisitor and prided himself on knowing things, maybe he can tell us something we don't know about the Absolute.
A front. Masking the grand design.
The grand design then, of course, the Illithid's plan to establish their empire, but perhaps he knows even more about it.
Horror, true horror. All creation made Gake.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Right, and with that, let's dispel the disguise and keep moving towards the other Ardent for more loot, and then past to collect the Hoarfrost boots, granting immunity to falling prone on icy terrain.
Is this it? Seems a little underwhelming for a holy relic.
Sylvia, of course, refers to the Blood of Lathander, and indeed, these boots are not it. Maybe the other chests in the room hold more promising items. Gold, alchemy ingredients, and a few potions in the chest here. All useful, but not what we're looking for. Suddenly, though, we notice the two statues in the room. Maybe they have something to do with the relic that we're searching. I would say, though, let's leave the secret of the Blood of Lathander for the next episode. We haven't ended on a nice cliffhanger in a while, and the next episode might actually be the last video of Act 1. That is, assuming we manage to escape the githyanki crash alive, which at this point does not look like a sure thing. But all of that and more will happen next time. For today, let's make the cut. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can of course go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or become a channel member or Patreon supporter. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.